Friday night, I want a Chippy Tea. Chippy Tea, Chippy Tea, I want a Chippy Tea. Oh, you can give me posh, no, she don't agree with me. I don't want lobster thermidor with raspberry coulis. It's Friday night, I'm within me rights, I want a Chippy Tea.
Right, here we go again. Welcome to episode 27 of Chippy Tea Podcast. What is the Chippy Tea Podcast? It's your chance to eavesdrop on a conversation between two northerners, which is loosely based around screen print, but no guarantee. We will spend a good hour just discussing what has happened to us this week, what's been the highlight of the week, what's been the low light, what's lit our heart on fire and made us want to print T-shirts until we get one foot in the grave.
Fingers bleed.
Yeah. Or what's made us think, I should have studied harder at school. This is shit. So we're gonna have this. We're in the in-betweeny time, in between Christmas and New Year. So we're gonna have a little bit of a different. We're gonna have a theme and a list. Yeah, we're gonna have a theme and a list.
Yeah.
And a script almost. No, not a script. Completely unscripted. It has to be with me and Danny because we can't stick to it.
I can't read either.
We keep going off on tangents.
Yeah.
So, right in episode 1, we were going off on tangents. So, what are we going to talk about this week? We're going to try and discuss our thoughts and plans for next year, our resolutions.
New Year's resolutions.
So, New Year's resolutions, what's our plans for the next year? What do we resolve that we're going to try and stick to? What do we sort of make real by writing down on paper? You know, I'm not a big believer in this word, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't like the word manifest.
Manifesting.
I don't like it, no. If you're going to do it. If you're not, stop talking about it. It's one of them.
Believe it, achieve it, Tony. That's what you got to do.
That's my my local high school is called Believe, Achieve, Succeed. And I'm
is that right?
No, stop it, no. So, I presume you've got a list, Daniel?
I've got a list. I've done my homework, don't you worry.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, I might have to bounce off back of yours. I have got a list, but it's. I bet you do a list with bullet points and it's got paragraphs and it's all. Yeah?
I've highlighted it.
Mine's in note form and it's one word to remind me what to talk about.
Yeah, well, mine's full-blown paragraphs, which I'm not going to read. I'm not just going to read it to you, but it will trigger me. It'll jog my memory. Otherwise, I'll just get lost.
I'm not going to change the tradition. I'm not going to start with mine. We're going to throw it straight over to you because we know you love opening up these podcasts. So, come on then, it is we number 1 on your list.
Number 1 on my list, quit shagging. Sorry, no, not quit shagging. Quit listening to Shaggy. You've created music changes, wasn't it? You know what I mean? So I'm going to stop listening to Shaggy. Done with him. Now I'm joking. That was a bit of bants just to open the episode up. That was all I've got as well, Tony, so I hope you're prepared to... my first resolution, in a nutshell, it is to, before I go anywhere near this press, between now and January the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, however long it takes, within a limit, is basically to just put together an absolutely comprehensive plan of not only this year coming up, but the next 5 years, as you so brilliantly suggested last week. It's
5-year roadmap.
I'm going to do both, a short-term 1-year roadmap and a long-term 5-year roadmap. And quite a comprehensive plan, which I'm in the process of doing over Christmas. I've had a bit of a break, but I can't help have half a mind thinking forward.
Is it going to be a plan or a list of goals? Because I think there's a difference.
It's going to be a bit of everything, to be honest. It's going to be a lot of detail. So finances. I've got all my finances done. I've done my tax year all done, and I've even done this year's tax year sorted, apart from the next 3 months, which I need to add on. I've made a cash flow forecast, I think we call it that, whatever. Basically, I can see exactly what's coming out. Now, this sounds pretty basic. Most businesses should probably do this, and most people listening probably do.
Are you using your Zero software to do this? Because you know there's a button on there that does your cash flow.
I'm going to use Monday. I use zero to pull out the information, but basically I'm putting everything into Monday. So I'm in front of me all year, down the sidebar, I've got access to everything. So instead of what I usually do, when it comes to Christmas, I'll write my lists, I'll do my cash flow forecast, I'll do whatever planning I need to do in Google Docs. And within a week, all them files have been pushed back with artwork and other bits of stuff that I've sort of been doing recently. And it just gets forgot about and left. So now Monday is a hub for everything. I'm going to build my price guides into it. I'm going to build my cash flows, my customer list, my job planning. And it's all just going to be accessible on my right-hand side all year, in my face, can't be missed. Just to keep on top of things. And I feel like that's going to make a big difference to my productivity. And I feel like it's going to keep me focused on the bigger picture rather than getting suckered into the, well, I've got to do this job. The production
the small
of the small
stuff, basically.
Yeah. I think I definitely lose sight of a bigger picture, especially in recent years. And you go year to year wondering why not gets achieved. Well, not will get achieved if you don't think big, if you don't think of a bigger picture, if you don't think of tick off these little jobs. So I've got my little finances sorted. Short term, 1 year plan. Long term, 5 year plan. I shall probably do quite a bit of typing and writing. Just make a bullet point list in paragraphs.
I suppose it depends what type of person you are, doesn't it? Really, because like we said before, I'm not really a list kind of person. Of a to do tick. I can build that list in my head, and I do go through that list in my head. But to actually write it down, number one, I'm the type of person that would forget where I put it.
Well, this goes back to the Google Docs thing. It just gets lost.
Yeah,
this
my phone is
in front of me now.
My phone is good for this with the Notes app on my phone. I find it helps me. It's a reminder. It helps to jog my memory. So I'll write something down that I need to come back and tackle, but it will be a one word. And that one word will then remind me of what I was going to be doing.
I used to text myself, so I'm really OCD, and if I see unread notifications, I have to get rid of them. I have to delete old messages. I don't have any. If I go to my text messages, there's nothing in there because I just can't help myself. I have to delete it.
Really?
So I used to text my own number, and then if it was something to remind me, obviously I'd leave it there. I wouldn't read it until I was physically going to do whatever it was. But it'd eat away at me because I could see one unread message. So that was a really good way of pushing me into action. If there's something I need to remind myself of that I need to do, I would do it because it would kill me just looking at that 3 notifications of messages.
Yeah, I think we discussed this earlier. You are weird.
Yeah, in a nutshell, yeah. So that was numero 1. In a nutshell, before I touch the press, just plan me chuffing life out. I mean, this is my life as business, so in a nutshell, plan my life out. Lots of detail, lots of effort. And it's been an ongoing process. I've been doing it through Christmas. And,
good.
So
I think there's a lot of old cliche proverbs that come to mind that if nothing changes, everything will stay the same. If you don't do anything different, don't expect different results. All those sort of things that people look back and go, well, I'm still in the same place. Well, yeah, you're still doing the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And it seems obvious, but you have to. We discussed, didn't we, last week that I told my kids, and it's something I do, is I have a 5-year plan, and it's not written in stone in paragraphs and highlighted. It's not a list. It's sort of like a visualization of where I want to be and what I want to achieve inside that 5 years.
Yeah.
The problem really happens when you achieve it within a couple.
No, well, then you just write a brand new plan, don't you? That's great. When you overachieve, you can't complain, can you?
Yeah.
That when you brought that up last week, it's amazing. That one little thing, and I sort of realised. I think
we call it a nugget. We call it a nugget.
A golden nugget.
So when I go around doing what I do, this is what I tell people. Look, if you just take away one nugget, what do you mean? So it might be that I'm telling you everything that you already know, but there might be just that one little nugget that drops, and you pick that nugget up and go, "Ooh, I'm having that one. That's a good one. That one." Yeah. So good. I'm glad that you're picking up my nuggets.
Yeah, I think I leave loads of nuggets every episode, mate. I'm sure people get loads of value just by listening to me talk. But yeah, it just triggered something in me a bit. Thought
your nuggets are brown.
Didn't see. Hey, did I tell you? Oh, a bit of bad news actually. So Santa didn't bring me one of those oversized beach hoodies for people who go skinny dipping in sea, so I couldn't do it. Oh yeah, bit of a shame, isn't it? So yeah, what was your?
Let me just Google hoodie.
Hoodie. Sorry, hoodie. Hooded garment. I've got something else in the back of my head. Yeah, so I feel like we've ticked that one off. But yeah, that little nugget getting me to just think long term a little bit more than what I have been doing.
Good.
So that worked out a treat. So resolution number 1, Tony. What's on your list? Are you giving up shagging as well?
I'm married.
Well, it's Christmas. It's pretty much done for you now, isn't it?
I think number 1 for me was the certification that we spoke about.
Oh, cool. Right.
Remember the certification that we spoke about? This was a bit of a throwaway idea. And if I don't do something with it, it will become a throwaway idea.
Mm.
So I think we all have this ability, this power to be able to take something and run with it, or take it and leave it. Yeah. And what happens to the idea is purely dependent on us. So this idea dropped on from a customer I told you, who wanted some certification for training that I'd given him to make it official.
Yeah.
And it sort of opened my eyes and went, actually. So, and if I don't do anything with it, I think I'll kick myself at this time next year.
Yeah.
I think it's a wasted opportunity if I don't do anything with it. So I have to not be lazy with this one. I have a really bad habit of, what's it called? Is it called procrastination?
Procrastination. Have I just told you how to pronounce a word? Jeez.
You talk about something but don't do it. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You procrastinate about it. And I don't want to do that with this one. I really want to go somewhere with this.
Mm.
So that was my number 1, is to pick this up and push it and shove it and be really positive forward with it, rather than bad habit is to just let things roll along. Yeah. This one I'm going to positively get hold of and push.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. I feel like that. I think we've talked about, briefly touched on. I think you've asked me what am I like. What do I consider success? And I think a part of me, it's not the number one aspect. It's not the one driving aspect.
Part of you wants a little certificate on wall.
No, I'll have that as a new.
I'll do you one.
That'll be nice. But part of me kind of, and this has took a lot of years to develop, but I think it's only recent, kind of want to make a difference in the screen print industry. I want to, in some small way, do something different or come up with something that nobody else is doing or stand out a little bit. And I'm not saying that in I want to save the planet, none of that bollocks. I just it's probably selfish.
Some infamy. So you want to be a
little bit. Now, I'm not
infamy.
Egotistical, so no. I don't know if that's... But there's a little bit of me that just thinks...
Are there people in the industry that you think of when you think of that sort of...
Oh, there's numerous, yeah, numerous.
Is there?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think now. I know of a couple, but I've probably met them. And then you realise that, no, it's other people's opinion of them. It's not them.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
I'm not sure on the infamy thing.
It's definitely not. I definitely have no, it says on a podcast, no aspirations to be famous or known, like by everybody at all. I'm a very private, bit of a hermit, to be honest.
That's because you've got so many skeletons in the closet. You don't want to
That's
go
because
attention to yourself.
Shit. This is it. There's definitely a part of me that just wants the industry to go, fucking hell, he's all right, him. He's not bad at that.
Like
For some reason, I don't know what.
Bit of a mad special sort of thing.
Yeah, but not that. He's done that.
No, but he
stands out like a sore thumb, doesn't he?
He stands out because of his ability to do what he does with special effects.
There's quite a few.
Not many for me, and not that many that jump out.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're so technically clued up about all this. You can see what people do, and you know if it's good. Like, you probably look at a screen print that somebody's done, and you know exactly what they've done to make that. And it would be hard to please you. You'd be hard to impress, I reckon.
There's a couple of... I've got a couple of examples. There's a guy in Leicester who prints stuff. I mean, I walked into this guy's in Leicester's shop, and he's the biggest, grumpiest guy you've ever met. Sits in the middle of his factory, no computer, a massive big dog that comes and takes a shit in the middle of the factory. And his machines are spinning, and I remember... I don't know if I've ever told you the story. I tell stories that often. I forget who I speak to. I remember walking in. Small backstory. I'm up in Wakefield. We've run out of white ink. We got a print all weekend for I think it was for a football job, for a match that was happening.
All right.
And so I'd just run out of white. So ringing the ink reps on a Friday afternoon, because most of them were in pub on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
And trying to find out where I could borrow some white ink. So is there a printer near me I could lend some ink from and I can replace it for Monday?
Yeah.
And it was Sericol at the time. And the Sericol rep says, well, if you drive down to Leicester, there's a guy called Pally, and basically he's got probably more ink than we've got. Okay. So he jumps in the car, drives down to this place in Leicester. There's a Bentley outside. There's another posh car, another posh car. I'm like, what the chuff's this? Walk in and these machines are spinning. And remember Twilight?
The movies?
Yeah, they were the sort of vampire things.
All right, yeah.
Were they movies
Teenage
or
Girls
series?
are banging to. I think it was like 3 films or something. It's like
probably
teenage
films.
films.
Yeah, those films, werewolves and vampires and stuff.
Aye.
Well, I've got my technical head on. I'm walking around this factory, and I'm looking at the end of the dryer, and at the end of the dryer, I'm looking at this print, and hand on heart, this was the best print I've ever seen.
Right.
The tonal work, the registration, the crisp clarity of everything that I picked up. And I looked at it, felt it, touched it, sniffed it, scratched it. That's a transfer. But I can physically see it coming off the press. But it's a transfer. But I can see it.
Yeah.
This is blowing my mind. We would usually use a 65 line dot. It's on like 90 and 95 line dots. And it's printing as if it were Bob the plumber, from down road and just wanted half a dozen T-shirts. He's printing and printing away. I'm like,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so that, for me, was one of the sort of like, in the industry, like,
holy shit.
Makes a massive difference. And because of the quality. Just purely because of the technical quality.
Am I right in assuming he's quite not known? Not like on Instagram or anything like that. Somebody who doesn't need to be.
No,
one of those.
No.
It's amazing, the best.
He'll print for other people, and he'll print for... well, I say not well known. If you say that word, his name to anybody within a 100-mile radius of Leicester, then they'll know him.
Yeah. But he doesn't need to be plastered all over Instagram and stuff like that.
No, he probably turns away more work than he actually accepts.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, really, really good technical printer. The other one that jumps to mind that I think's made a difference to the industry and contributes high technical is a place over in Poland called Linka.
Right.
Never been, would love to go, and watch them from a distance. They at one point they won every award for every technical print going.
Yeah.
From water-based to plastisol to high build to low build to puff to density to special effects and foil. They just used to wipe the board with everybody.
Yeah.
We're going about 30 years. And I remember being in Berlin last year, and I'm sat with a group of friends and got introduced to this guy, and this guy was John Lynch, the guy who owns Linka. I'm like, bit of a fanboy here.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock at night. We're having a beer. Nobody's talking about work, and all I want to do is talk about work.
Yeah.
And I had to sort of sit on my hands a little bit and not geek out and be a bit of a fanboy. But I think those two for me are probably ones that contribute to the industry. If I don't give it any thought, and they're the first two jump into my head. Do I want to be any of them? No.
Oh no. Well, I'm not saying I want to be Mad Specials or anyone. I want to do my own thing. I just want something that people are not doing that just sort of stands out and people go, whoa, shit. Anyway, I've not found it yet, but we'll look at when it comes.
I think that's number 2 on my list.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right, well, why don't you jump straight into number 2?
So I'll jump straight onto that because there's a slight tenuous link there.
Go on.
If I was going to be remembered for anything in the industry, the Academy.
Oh, cool. So you tied it together a bit, this one.
Yeah. I'm really passionate about putting skills back into our industry and not having people go through the crap learning curve.
Mm.
The crap learning, you
I'm the perfect example.
You've spoke about it often enough.
Yeah.
The bigger your reject box, the more you're learning.
Mm.
But it's expensive and it's time consuming and it's stressful and it can cause you to give up.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
So I think on my list, along with certification, is to start doing some real planning to have a solid bricks and mortar base for an academy.
I like
now, where that would be, I don't know. Whether it would be in UK, whether it would be in Europe, or whether it be in US, I don't know. It depends on opportunity, but I think there's a good market for it in one of those 3 places.
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely. I think it's one of those where you have to put a plan together, but you can't. You have to leave a window open for opportunity. So you have to say, look, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, this is how I'm going to run it, etc., etc. These are potential ways that I could host it.
Yeah, there's different methods. The one thing I absolutely definitely cannot do is I can't bankroll it myself. So I would need some help from someone. But you never know. If you ask enough right questions, you get the right answers, don't you?
This is it, innit? Someone once said to me, I don't like it. It's something that used to bug me and niggle at me. He said, it's not what you know, it's
You're
who
not
you
allowed
know.
to use that word now. My son pulls me up on it all the time.
Bug me? You don't want to offend the bugs? No, don't say a word. Well, that's his first edit.
Yeah, it is who you know. And
no, it isn't. Stop talking shit. That is an excuse for being shit at what you do, in my opinion.
For all the hard work that you put in, sometimes being in the right place at the right time, next to the right person, is
definitely
priceless.
Can. See, I think I'm a little bitter towards that statement because I've never really been in the right place at the right time and never known anyone. But I never go out of my way to know people. I think you're the first person I've spoken to in about 6 years.
You live in there.
That's what
where
I'm saying.
You live.
Exactly. Well, we talked about going to trade shows and I thought,
you said you'd never seen an auto.
Somewhere.
You said you'd never seen an auto.
One, just one.
I'm going to put another one on my list. Me and you are going to see autos. Me and you are going to see a factory full of autos spinning away.
Right. Well, number 10, number 11 on my list. I'll get out at shop.
Yeah.
Me and you will have a beer, and we'll maybe we'll get on the road. Maybe we'll go see some shops. Because I feel like
we'll take Chippy Tea on the road.
I feel like that could be a good one.
Chippy Tea Roadshow in summer.
It's like Antiques Roadshow. We're both old enough. God.
Come on then, number 2 on you.
Number 2, apply the milk bottle theory. Seriously, bro. Seriously apply it. And
so your first one was mine and your second one's mine.
And you think I don't listen.
So the milk bottle theory, explain the milk bottle theory.
The milk bottle theory is, once that milk bottle's full, stop. So what do you do when you... milk orders, and the orders are coming in, and when you're full to capacity, what do you do? Well, you've got multiple options. Tell people a really extended turnaround time, just say no, or outsource it. And I am going to apply a bit of all 3 of them this year, which I've never done, ever. This one kind of... Apply the milk bottle theory bleeds into everything that I do below, because without the milk bottle theory, I won't be able to do any of it. So I have to be strict to this.
So there's a couple of codicils here. There's a little bit. The milk bottle theory, as I explain it, is every order is a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little slip of paper, and you put the slip of paper into the milk bottle.
Mm.
And once the milk bottle's full, you can't put any more paper in until you take the piece of paper out. So the first thing we have to establish with a milk bottle theory is when is full. What's my capacity? And you have to sit and work out your capacity. This goes back to... I applied this theory to a place in America who was massive place, huge, 40, 50 embroidery machines, big contract printer. And it was about applying a time value to a task.
Yeah.
And you have to sit down and work out, right, a 1-colour job takes me this long. A 2-colour job, a 3-colour job, a 4-colour job. There has to be a mathematical equation. This is not a targeting tool. This is a tool to let you know when your milk bottle is full.
Yeah.
Now, if you work harder, if you work longer, if you work faster, if you've prayed to the squeegee gods, is that a shot? I think that's a shot.
I think it is actually. Let's have a shot.
Yeah. If you've prayed to the squeegee gods and you paid your dues, then you will get through your list really fast. But you have to look back. It's a full data dive. So if you've recorded this data, you have a year's worth of data. That year's worth of data, we split it into how many days you worked. It's usually 21 days a month times 12 months, 8-hour days. You then look at how many jobs you did in that entire time, and you start to do some basic, simple maths in your spreadsheets that you do.
Yeah.
And then you start to work out how many screens you made, how many colours you did, and you start to build this formula.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll tell you, my formula is in an Excel spreadsheet. I'll send you it and you can see. Because you're a bit of a geek with Excel, aren't you? Mm. So my spreadsheet is, my formula is job.
Jack's here.
Can you hear him?
I just heard somebody running.
Job number of colours.
Yeah.
First of all, break it into 3 types of job. Now, if your 3 types of job are easy, medium, and hard. I used to have high-vis, light shirts, dark shirts. But it's basically easy,
that does
medium,
make sense, though, doesn't it? Yeah,
easy, medium, or hard.
Yeah.
You then have a run rate for those easy, medium, and hard jobs. Mm. Once you have that, then all you need to know how many colours in the job and how many pieces in the job. And a job is one side.
Yeah.
So if it's got 4 prints on it, it's 4 jobs.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because we count impressions, we don't count pieces.
No, true.
Once you get all this information, you can look at it and go, on average, I print X amount of these jobs per day. Therefore, I can say that if it's a 4-colour job, it's going to take me X amount of time per piece. Then you start to build up this thing. And then what I have is take the number of colours and times it by my cleanup time.
Right.
My cleanup time is 15 minutes per screen.
Hmm.
So it might only be 20 pieces, but if it's 4 colours, it's an hour for clean-up.
Yeah.
Because it's 4 times the 15 minutes, plus how many pieces? It might only be 8 minutes printing time.
Yeah.
But I need to allocate press time of an hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. It can make take up more time.
Once we start to get this formula, and we can only get it from backwards data, so you need to do a full year of this and then start to do the deep dive on the data and work backwards. Once you get that, then you can start to forward plan. Okay, what's my capacity? Not what do I think I can do if I try really hard. What can I do if everything's nice and one colour jobs all day? No, what's my capacity? Once you know your capacity, this is the level of your milk bottle. How full is your milk bottle? Yeah,
you're going to think I'm making this up. I'm pretty sure it's on my list, actually. It is. We're going to come back to this. But one of the things I've done...
We don't even speak all week to each other.
One of the things I've done is on Monday.com, so I've got my job board with all my jobs planned out. I've added a timer, and I wish I'd done this years ago. So whenever
job start, job finish.
Yeah. Whenever I start a job, even if it's like, I'm doing some photoshopping or emails, I'm just going to press start and then pause when I've finished. Or while I'm printing this person, washing out this person's screen, start. When it's done, stop. And then printing, exactly the same. Go on. I can see you ready to criticise.
I've got a small issue with it, yeah. From where you are now, in theory, sounds perfect. So I was in a place in the UK that did exactly that.
Yeah.
Used their onboard CRM system, their management system, and put a little tablet at the side of every press.
Yeah.
And said, right, set up.
Yeah.
Start printing. Stop. Clean down. This will give us perfect information. It doesn't. It just doesn't give, because there's too many things. Oh, I forgot to press it, or I didn't press it, or I did press it. The guy doing it believed so strongly in it that he introduced a cash bonus system for the wages based on this information only.
Wow.
Because he wanted to see, right, okay, there are 450 minutes in the day. I've allocated you 400 minutes.
Mm.
So you have lost me 50 minutes today.
Yeah.
Because I've actually calculated your uptime, downtime, clean time, setup time. So if there's 50 minutes missing out of me 450, you've lost me 50 minutes per day. So therefore, out of all the pressers, whoever loses the least time gets a bonus.
Yeah, you see, I mean, I don't think...
No, because one press was doing all the one-colour high-vis jobs.
Yeah, so
per setup time, looking at the data, and then I had all the data for about 3 months. It took me a long time to deep dive into it.
Mm.
Looking at the data, she was setting up in between 6 and 8 seconds per setup time. It's not physically possible. What she was doing was setting 1 or 2 jobs up at a time and not pressing the button. Then pressing the button and pressing the button and pressing the button. So it didn't give a real-world value. The only real-world value you can have is, right, in the last 12 months, I performed these many jobs.
Well, do you know what? You could revise that. And I feel like in my situation, I feel like what you've just said, I can totally agree with that. I feel like in that setting, it's overkill to be used in that way, especially to assess bonuses and stuff like that, because it's not a true reading. Now, what I could do is and bear in mind, everything I'm saying is all...
Moral of the story, the girl left.
Oh, flip it now.
because she was getting the bonus all the time and the other guys hated her for it.
Yeah. Oh, good God.
So she left.
Wow. Yeah, so that didn't work very well.
No.
So I think a revision, and bear in mind, everything I'm doing and saying right now is still in the planning stages. Like I said, between now and next week, it'll all be fully fleshed out to an extent.
Yeah, we're gardening. We're planting seeds.
Planting seeds. The timing thing, it might even develop into press time, a timer from press time. Because in realistic terms, you could approximate setup time, 1 colour, 2 colour, how many print placements. You could set a time value to all of them, and you could quite easily build a list without having to physically time it every time. And just as soon as you get to press, iPad, go. When you've finished off at press, or maybe even including, maybe when it's boxed up, whatever. Anyway, this is in progress.
Now that I encourage. That I encourage. Not breaking it down so hard, but that I encourage.
I wish I had that data.
Marking marking how many colours, and then what press time. But you could get that data probably from last Tuesday, 22nd of March. I had 5 jobs on press. Each job was less than 3 colours. They were all on dark shirts. Total number of prints, 185. So you have the maths there to work it backwards.
Yeah, I could roughly work it out.
Get you a ballpark to start.
To get a ballpark.
Because don't forget, this is not. A lot of people think it's a target. This was the wage and bonus thing to make it a target. No, you can't do that. Printing is too variable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I can give you a white flash white job, and you can bang it out in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, while you've still got everything dirty and everything right, I'll give you another white flash white job. You'll be on it for 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
What's the difference? Well, this one just didn't fucking work. Why?
Different garments.
Don't know.
Could have been
different garment, different ink. My ink had got warm. The emulsion were breaking down. I had a leak I had to sort out. The placement was tricky. And because of those very, very similar, that's why we can't do a target of. I know someone that worked in a supermarket, and on the night shift, so when the supermarket closed, they did the online shopper. So if you place an order online, it gets delivered to your door. Well, somebody has to pretty much run around the supermarket picking it for you. It's not done in the warehouse; it's done in the actual supermarket itself. And they had a PPH, pieces per hour, picks per hour.
Yeah.
So no matter what it was, they had this target, this number, this I hate these next 3 acronyms. KPI. Key performance indicator.
I thought they meant nuts.
Who planters that idea in your head?
KPI.
Who planters that idea?
I see what you did.
I
knew there was some bad to come out.
Wasted on me.
Hey, good that, Tony. I'll have that one.
But the whole idea of everybody works the same at the same rate, and if you don't hit that, somebody at some point, Time and Motion Man. You remember Time and Motion Man?
No, not really.
Time and Motion Man was a guy who used to come from head office with a clipboard and a stopwatch. He would follow you around, and he would just click.
Security guards do that to me when I walk in shops. I don't know why.
Can I go off on a tangent?
Go on then.
Do you remember the bacon factory?
Aye.
So when I worked at the bacon factory, I'd not really experienced Time and Motion Man before. I just didn't know. So I'm doing my thing, which is basically from the back of the truck, open the boxes, put the frozen thing into these cages, walk these cages round to the cutting line, and then come back with the trolleys ready to go. So obviously you're most efficient. You drag 3 trolleys with you at once.
Yeah.
You come back with a stack of 10 wheels to go back. So you didn't walk forwards and backwards all the time because intelligence says you've got to be efficient.
Common sense.
So then everybody sort of goes quiet, and this guy turns up. Bacon factories, everybody's in pyjamas and hairnet and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's got a stopwatch and a clipboard. And he logs on to me. So I'm like, oh fuck. I'm being timed.
Yeah.
I better go quick. So I'm running around like a fucking blue-ass fly.
Yeah.
Trying to be really efficient, trying to impress this guy with a stopwatch. And I've got 17 trolleys on here. I'm carrying all sorts. I'm doing 17 things at once, and I'm all over the place. And they got to me. All my mates got me around the corner. What the fuck are you doing? What? You know what that is? Yes, it's a guy measuring how fast I am. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, because now everybody else is going to have to catch you up.
Slow down.
Shit,
I went, how does that make sense? He wants to see how fast I am. Yes, you idiot.
And then he'll hold you to that standard.
What do you mean? Go and walk and get 1 trolley and walk backwards with it really slowly. I'll never get anything done. No, because then when he's not here, then we go and get 10 at once. Then we get a bonus for being above what he thinks is 100%. We've been 120% bonus for the last 5 years. Don't ruin it by going fast, you little dick. I see. Just
makes sense now.
Yeah. So I thought I was trying to go super fast and impress this bean counter with his little stopwatch. Turns out everybody hated me for it. From then on, I'm taking like baby steps like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get some trolleys. Be in about an hour.
Well, you've got time to lose now, because now you've got to compensate for what you've... Bloody hell.
And he looked at me and went, no point going slow now.
No,
I'm not honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a tangent, sorry.
Yeah, so my data recording, I'm gonna implement a timer. Maybe I'll do something a bit more along the lines of what we just said. But not only that, I'm going to have my costings on my job overview board now. So at the end of a year, or at the end of every month, I can export that data into a spreadsheet, and I can sort each job into time efficiency and profit. Because I don't think it always collaborates, whatever the word is.
Goes together with
cauliflower rates. I don't think cauliflower rates with the most, what a job that is pound for pound the most profitable might not be the most profitable if you spent 2 weeks doing it, you know? So that way I can really see. So I might be like, well, why am I pissing about doing 6 colour jobs with, I don't know, whatever? Because it's taking me forever, and I'm only making a fraction per hour compared to just blasting out single colour jobs.
We know people who have done this, though, don't we?
Do we?
We know people who have applied this sort of 80-20 rule. This, right, I'm going to close my doors and only print my own stuff because that's the most profitable.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a slippery slope. I think you have to comprehend, you have to be aware, you have to know of where you're making money and where you're losing money. But be careful using that factor to make a decision on where you go forward.
No, I would agree.
Because I've asked you this question before. Are you in this for the money? And you resolutely said no.
No, definitely not.
So therefore, why it can't have a lot of importance. I think you have to know and understand, because I think you have to understand if you're losing money.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what.
But otherwise, you will end up printing single colour jobs all day long, and that's not what you did this. That's not what you got.
No, I totally agree, and that isn't my intention, and it never was. The thought behind this data collecting process is just to get an understanding. It will steer me to an extent, but I'm not going to just turn away fun, sim colour, 6 colours, process, whatever, just because I won't make as much money. That's for
difficult shit. We've got to do difficult shit.
Well, here we go back to outsourcing a little bit. What I will 100% not do, I will not use it as an excuse or as a failsafe. If something comes through the door that's difficult, I'm not just going to automatically pass that off. Oh, it's difficult, that I can't do it. It's going to take too much time. If anything, maybe the opposite way around. That's the stuff I want to do, because I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, I can see that. I have this discussion with people who are wanting to buy new machinery.
Yeah.
So people that wanted to buy new machinery, I was with a guy who had a 6 colour press, and he said, right, okay, so we're looking to replace this 6 colour press because it's broken. He had 4 others as well.
Yeah.
I said, all right, okay, well, we'll look at, another 6 colour press, and no. I want a 16-18. What? I want a 16-18. Why?
Yeah.
So I can do the 12 and 14 colour jobs with a couple of flashes.
Yeah.
How many of those do you actually get? I get loads. Show me. What? Show me. Go back in the data and show me the number of colours that you last printed. And true enough, went away, came back with the full printout. The full printout said 80% of his jobs were below 4 colours. Oh, well. So, yeah, but I do get asked for that job. So outsource that one job. Give your difficult job to your competitor.
Yeah. Of course.
Make your competitor do that shitty, crappy job that he's not going to make any money on. You do all the 3 and 4 colour stuff that you're going to make money on.
Yeah, definitely. To an extent, yeah. I mean, like, there are jobs that I physically can't do. I am kicking myself when I got that. I didn't go for something with more colours. Kicking myself because now this past year, and I must admit, it's the first time.
6 colour.
It's a 6 colour, yeah. So I could have done with 8, maybe even 10. Probably 8. I would have got away with 8. I think definitely got away with 8. I don't think there's anything I couldn't do without 8 colours that I've ever been asked for.
No, 8 on a manual.
On a manual
is probably about the limit as to your breach in efficiency.
Yeah.
So you've got to sit and pull that many squeegees. Eventually, you're going to run out of actual time.
Yeah.
But on an auto, it's completely different. You have to rethink that number on an auto.
Yeah, well, if I need 8 on a manual, I may even need 12 on a auto because you've got the flashes. I mean, if you get an 8 colour
flashes and cooldown. Flashes and cooldown.
Cooldown
I know people that buy a 12 colour press, but only put printing arms, physical motors on 8 of those heads.
Yeah.
Because 4 of them will always have a flash and an empty station. And it's cheaper to do it like that. I don't like that idea, me. I think it's a bit limiting, but from a financial point of view, it makes perfect sense because the motor is about the same price as a flash. So basically, take off the motor and the arm and put a flash in its place, and you've got the same amount to spend.
Right. I see what you're saying. Do a lot of people put cool down stations with fans, or do they just leave them empty?
Leaving it empty is usually enough time.
Takes
so you can print one print every roughly 4 seconds when you're in absolute fly-out mode. If we bring it right down and say let's one every 6 seconds, so that I call it FTL. It's not faster than light; it's faster than loader.
Right, yeah. I see what you're saying.
So the machines are faster than the actual squishy things that stand in front of them.
Yeah.
If we say we'll print one every 6 seconds, then that 6 seconds is enough time for the ink to cool down and not be sticky.
Right.
And if you turn it right up and you're printing one every 2.8 seconds, I think is the fastest the machines will go, which is getting on for 1,400 an hour. Then I would put one of those square fans in. Were it you that said you can't buy the square fans here?
It will be, yeah. I can never find the buggers, honestly.
So the big square box fans, you just lay them down that way and they blow cold air. That they work. I think it was M&R invented a machine to go in the cool down station, which used a very, I think it was a silicon-based mist. So you go flash, and then you've got this silicon-based like vapor, very, 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 very fine droplets with compressed air to, number one, cool down the hot ink and give it a little bit of a layer of silicon as well.
Oh, so you
I might be wrong with the silicon. I might be wrong with the silicon. It might have just been like water vapor or something to cool it down. But it was a unit that you would put a cool down spray.
Yeah.
A physical unit that you were putting on an empty station.
Yeah. I would
sticky ink back in the 90s was a horrendous problem.
Oh, I remember not so long ago it was an issue. I don't have any trouble with it now. I'm using the old silicon spray on screens and stuff like that.
It's speed. If you don't give the ink chance to cool down, it's still in that gelling stage.
Yeah.
Then it's almost wet on the top.
Yeah.
And it becomes sticky. So you've got to give it time to cool down.
Yeah.
But you don't have that issue.
No, nowadays. I mean,
because by the time you've got 4 stations, 6 colour, or 6 stations, 6 colour. So by the time you've done 6, that first one, if the flash is at this side of you, it's fucking clap cold.
Oh yeah, I don't have that issue nowadays, especially with a flash at times. I remember having the old BBC flash diode.
Elephant 1, Elephant 2, Elephant 3, Elephant.
But you'd always
burn.
Yeah, burn, and you quite often overflashed. So you'd print as colour, and you're like, for fuck's sake, it's peeled half it off. So now I've got precision flash, as far as I'm concerned, and that's eliminated that problem altogether.
Plastisol has these 3 distinct phases. Number 1, at room temperature, it's the opposite of plastic.
Yeah.
So plastic is, I think, little toy soldiers. Your little plastic toy soldiers are in room temperature. They are solid.
Solid.
And you put them in the fire or the oven and they melt. Well,
Yeah.
Plastisol is the opposite.
In reverse. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a liquid at room temperature. You heat it up, it becomes solid.
Hmm.
So at 90 degrees, we get the gel temperature. The gel temperature is where the skin of the ink is dry to the touch, but underneath we're still squishy, like a tomato. So we can put our finger through the skin of a tomato and it still be wet underneath, but it's still dry on top.
Yeah.
And then at 120, Plastisol ink re-wets. So it's this, what you call over-flashing, is getting the ink to 120.
Yeah.
So it's dry. So it's wet from 0 to 90. Then between 90 and 120, it's dry.
Yeah.
And then between 120 and 155, it's wet.
Yeah.
And then at 162, it's dry.
Yeah.
So it goes through these phases.
Yeah. Do you know
if you try and print on it when it's above 120, it feels wet.
Yeah. Do you know when Plastisol was invented? I do.
No.
In the 60s.
All right.
I think.
What did we use before that?
I don't know, but it was there was I only know the story loosely, but there was like an explosion of graphic T-shirts.
I'm going to Google it background.
Well,
Andy Warhol, probably.
I couldn't tell you. I can't remember. I had a blog on my website once, and I had like a top 10 strange facts about T-shirts, and one of them was something to do with Plastisol was invented when there was an explosion of graphic T-shirts, something like that. 60s. Shut up, you're going to tell me I'm wrong, aren't you?
Well, Google says...
Fucking Google.
Plastisol was invented and patented in 1926 by Waldo Seaman.
Really?
Unfortunate name.
No, there were shit phones, weren't there?
But not on not on shirts. It was just the Plastisol, which was the binding of two chemicals.
Well, maybe the facts that I've just stated.
I'd go with your 60s. I'm going to go with your Andy Warhol 60s.
I feel like it's something like that. What was your last one?
My last one was Academy.
Right. So
but we can go off on a few tangents from there. So it's probably me. I've only done 2.
Go on, then. Hit me with another. What's number 3 in your list?
So, number 3 on my list is, and we touched on this either last week or the week. I think it was last week we touched on this. It's under the subheading education. So I make a living from going around places and using my knowledge that I've gained over 34 years. Looking at 1987, 35 years this time.
That's as old as me.
1987 I started. So over the last 35 years, obviously I've got this big, vast lump of information.
Yeah.
And to make sure that it's not out of date, and to make sure that there's nothing that I'm missing or misinterpreting, because ain't nobody perfect. I once thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. So, education for me. We touched on it last week about emulsion. I was at a place, got stumped with an emulsion question. I asked you, what are you using? And you gave me a set of parameters, and they just did not work in this place. Same parameters. Mm. So one of my lists this year is to more education on myself on number 1, emulsion.
Yeah.
That's my biggest, I would say that's my weakest point.
Yeah.
And I understand everything about it and the theory behind it, but I think there's more I could delve into from a technical point of view.
Yeah.
Ink types. It's changing.
Yeah.
Remember when I was in America and I got the crap job of the crap ink?
Yeah.
Did I name them? The different ink.
Yeah.
So I used a different ink. This different ink was PVC free.
Right.
PVC free Plastisol. So, you go back 5 years, that wasn't possible. It is now.
Yeah.
And I still stick to my theory that we will eventually have one ink type, just cold ink, that we happen to clean up with water. And it's good for the turtles and the dolphins and everything else.
Yep.
So education on ink types, which means me going out my way and finding out from the ink companies themselves, which is dangerous ground because I don't want to be a representative of the ink companies.
No.
I don't want to use my discount code. I don't want to be that.
You need to remain impartial.
And it's difficult because if you're not using it all the time, you believe what the salesman tells you. The salesman's never held a squeegee.
Yeah, because you don't know any better.
You end up making a tit of yourself, yeah. So, education there on ink types and artwork.
Right.
So, I would say I'm probably close to expert level in Adobe Illustrator.
Yeah.
There's not a lot I can't do to manipulate a graphic, not create. I've got the creative tendencies of a dead dog. I can't create artwork. So to manipulate a graphic inside Illustrator, I am very good at.
Yeah.
Photoshop, I'm really poor. I'm really weak. And I can't manipulate a graphic beyond the basics, which is cleaning up JPEGs, increasing resolution, adding or removing parts of a design. That's about it, and it's all eraser tool and stuff like that. It's very, very basic. Yeah. So I might even go on a Photoshop course, on an online Photoshop course.
I'm probably the opposite. I can do Photoshop with my eyes closed, but Illustrator, God knows.
But see, for screen printing, Vector's better.
Yeah, Vector is better. Yeah, well, you see, I use CorelDRAW, so I tick that box with CorelDRAW. I'm pretty good with CorelDRAW.
Yeah, well, then you'd be really good with Illustrator. It's just different shape ones.
Yeah.
But, I think I need to. Our mate John, he lives inside Photoshop.
Yeah,
and I'd love to just sit aside of him for a day and watch what he does. And I might even approach him as to whether that's an option.
Yeah, I mean, we say that Vector is better, but if you output Vector through Photoshop at the correct resolution, it's no different. It's no difference. If you scale Vector, no, because you can pull in your Vector elements and set it to the size you need, and you're not losing anything.
Depends on the resolution of the Photoshop file, which is usually limited to 300 dpi.
All right.
So
can you surpass that in print?
Yes.
Really? Oh, interesting.
So if you draw a shape in Illustrator and output it with your Epson at 1200 dpi, what you physically see is 1200 dpi. If you then take that same shape and drop it into a 300 dpi page canvas inside Photoshop, and then output it, you get 300 dpi resolution printed at 1200 dpi. But because Vectors and Illustrator and even CorelDRAW is that you?
Chuffing Bin Man's just turned up.
Resolution independent. So there is no resolution inside a Vector program. There is no DPI.
Yeah, I was just playing devil's advocate. I mean, if a customer comes to me, the first thing I say is, I want your artwork in Vector, preferably. Yeah. Worst case scenario, I want a high resolution bitmap.
So we used to use 144 DPI back in the early days when I were a lad. Because computers couldn't handle the file size that this would create of a 18-inch by 12-inch picture at that resolution. Most Windows PCs were just sort of like dying. And then the PCs got better, so we upped that base resolution to 300 dpi. Now, I'm not a computer geek, but I presume computers have got even better. Yeah, so we could probably now work with and store and move and manipulate graphics at a higher resolution than 300 dpi. But that 300 is based on what's the most convenient size of file to move around different window platforms. And there is an upper limit to file size.
I think you'd be pushed.
This needs fact checking. No, I've done it. I've reached it. I
think
2 terabytes is the largest file you can send to be processed.
Wow.
I think. It
To
used
be
to be.
fair, I've chucked some files into AccuVip and it's pissed itself once or twice.
I think 2 terabytes is the upper limit, but I'd have to check that. I'm not a computer geek. I used to be, but I'm not now.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up, isn't it? It's one of those things, like, you have a year where you're just busy doing other things. Well, yeah. Yeah, but you can
Punch
have
cartoon. Remember the Punch cartoon?
Not really.
The guy on the hill loading a single fire musket,
Oh, with submachine gun.
and there's somebody behind him with a submachine gun.
Aye.
It's that you're so busy shooting I can't say wildlife, I can't even say natives. Shooting the attackers.
The enemy.
Yeah, the attackers, that you don't realise there's actually somebody behind you who could help you.
Yeah. Well, that actually leads quite nicely into one of mine, which is not in order. So
This is quite smooth, this, isn't it?
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go out of order, but it sort of plays in. It ties into what you've just said in a way. So one of my resolutions this year is to build 2 or 3 websites. One of them being Chippy Tea. 2 or 3 websites targeting.
Another one could be palm print. That's me off. That's my next one on this list.
Oh well, I'll take a couple. Build 2 or 3 websites targeting specific niches that I'd just like to be a part of. Just so when I get up in the morning and I'm printing T-shirts for specific niches that I really have an interest in and like,
I strongly
it motivates
encourage
me.
this.
But
Strongly encourage this. To print for, to be involved with something you already have a passion for. If you are a mad mountain biker, then you should be printing for all the local mountain bike clubs and meeting with them and socialising with them and know when their events are and know where everything is. So I think it's a fantastic idea. I fully, utterly encourage it. And if you look, you probably won't see it. I see it. And part of what I think makes a successful company is, number one, the theory, ethos, thinking behind the top people.
Yeah,
that filters down.
Yeah,
but also it's that passion of being involved in the niche that you're actually printing for. Sorry, I stole your idea. Go for it.
No. But you basically just said it. But
sorry,
it's definitely something.
If you put your hand up, you want me to stop talking.
Oh, you're all right. But it's something that I have a skill to do, and it's something when I was young, when I was a lad. Back in there, one of the things that I used to do at primary school, I used to build websites at primary school. I was the first kid to get maybe back end of primary school, early high school. I was the first kid in my primary school, Barwick Parade in Selby, to get a computer, get a PC.
If you'd have said Cas Vegas, I'd be like, yeah, well, we know why though, don't we? Because there's only 3 computers in Cas, and you
even now, and they've all been nicked.
They used to belong in Ponty.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it was something from an early age I took a passion in, and I became somewhat good at. And I even went to uni temporarily to study it, and then I dropped out and realised I hate people. So it's something that
this is not news.
No, it's something that I'm good at, but I will. This is where it ties in. I've not been in game for a few years, so
probably changed.
It's changed massively, but I'm passionate about it. I'm good at it. I'm sure I'll pick it back up. And I have an eye for it. I'm pretty sure I have an eye for a good-looking website. I understand the fundamentals behind, where placements need to be SEO-wise, so good optimization of your website. I mean, you should have your phone number at the top, website, etc., and putting the right, keywords into the title and the description, etc. So, one, I want to build a couple of niche websites. I want to work on my own website, get that a little bit more up to date, a little bit more informative for my customers, and a little bit more SEO friendly. But more importantly, I think those niche websites, because I think going back to the 5-year plan. Are you in trouble?
2 seconds.
Sorry.
I have no fucking idea what day it is. Right, where were we?
Right.
Building SEO, building websites,
I think
learning, teaching.
I think the point behind this particular resolution is thinking long term again, thinking about that 5-year plan. And this is where I really do have to apply the milk bottle theory, because for me to be able to achieve all of this stuff and to get the websites built, I will have to be strict with this. And it might even be a case of I don't make as much money, but I would sooner not make as much money short term for the long term success of the business. Yeah. And I think maybe this is the big thing that's been missing, is being so short sighted. Get the jobs out. There's no big, you know what I mean?
You're so busy.
Yeah.
You can become a busy fool.
I have been.
It's a harsh word, busy fool. But you are so busy. You are working so hard. I've just written an article very similar for Images, which was improvement. Things that I've seen that are accomplishments. And I say, I go to places where just changing a few little things by introducing milk bottles and stuff like that, just by changing a few little things, the guys are actually not working as hard now, but they're achieving more.
Yeah.
So the guy up at Wetware Express, he was working so hard, and he was in first thing, and he was out last thing, and he was stressed all day and running around like a blue-ass fly. And I was like, "Whoa, stop! Hang on, let's just do this, and this." Oh, now I'm achieving the same or more. Yeah. But I'm not running around like an headless chuck.
Yep, headless chuck. Never heard that one, but we'll go with
it.
Chicken. I think that's exactly it. I can totally relate to... oh, shit, I've got his name now. I know who it is.
I'm not going to help you.
I know you're not. You wouldn't.
Paul.
Is it? Paul, that's it. No, but he's got a nickname, hasn't he?
Hodge.
I knew it was there. It was in there. I just couldn't get it out. I can totally relate to that. That's just how I am. I'm exactly the same. Running around, dressed up to eyeballs, whacking. So I guess that's the overall ambition for the year.
Luckily, website is on my list. So I'll be able to help you with your list by giving you my website. Website's on my list because I want to improve my website. And the reason I want to improve it is I did it 4 years ago. Yeah. And I've given it zero time because I don't believe I get any custom from it. Now, you get custom from your website.
Yeah, I do.
I don't believe I do get custom. I think over 4 years I've had maybe 3 inquiries that have turned into jobs.
Through the physical contact box.
Yeah, through the contact box. But they found the contact box from Instagram.
Oh, right. And you know that for a fact?
Yes.
All right.
So for me, Instagram drives more business than my websites, which is why I give Instagram ultimately more time and dedication.
That's because it's a bad website. It's just a bad website.
Oh, it's horrendous.
Just needs SEO in it and what have you.
It's not just the SEO; it's built from templates because I don't have that knowledge of how. You need to get it off GoDaddy
for a start because it's awful.
But it has the templates built in for someone like me who can just go, right, put a picture in there, put some text in there, put that in there, make that do that.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
I need, and I don't have to put loads of time into it. I'm not a web designer.
No, of course.
It doesn't interest me, hold my attention.
No.
I have to do it because I have to have a website.
Yeah.
But it's not up on my list. So, therefore, I'm ticking it off my list because I'm going to give the task to you.
Because you've just passed it on to me. I'm happy with it. I'll help you out with that. You give me plenty of advice and golden nuggets, so I'll help you with your website.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what's your next one? Because mine was, we're going out of order in mine, but we've ticked off the old website. What are you going to go for next? Don't ask me what number it is. God knows.
It's sort of related, but and it's also something we've discussed. All of these are stuff we've discussed.
We only repeat ourselves every episode, to be fair. So.
It's the Amazon.
You have to
was
look for
my
Amazon.
keyword. Amazon was my keyword that's going to remind me. I asked you how to do this, and then I did a bit of research myself, but usual 5-second research, which was the same as I just did with plastisol. Plastisol, when was it invented? Just Google it. And it's come up a few times. And this is to sell products on Amazon. To sell products that I recommend on Amazon.
Good
now,
idea.
This is not use my ink, use my discount code. This is products that I think will make a shop better, easier to control and manage if you buy this product.
Yeah.
Now, I already do this.
Yeah.
And I sort of shied away from doing it to make money because I do it to help people.
Yeah.
And then I've sort of like, I've got hold of myself, sat myself in corner, had a quiet word with myself and gone, you fucking idiot. Why not monetize this? It's not a bad thing to monetize
It's not a taboo.
things.
We all
It's not a bad thing. When I look around, everybody's doing it, and I don't think any worse of them for doing it. So why would I assign such a negative connotation to it? They were big words, weren't they? Why would I think it's such a bad thing?
Yeah. It's a character trait, and I reckon I have the exact same character trait. I almost feel bad making money sometimes.
Don't
That's
give me
not
that for those
very good.
t-shirts. No, don't give me any money. I enjoyed doing them. I enjoyed doing them.
But in it, it's like such a back. It's not a good trait if you want to run a business. But
I think it's an English thing.
It's innate, isn't it?
English thing.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think it's a stiff upper lip. English
Upper lip.
things.
That's
Yeah, very well.
I thought I couldn't speak properly.
So,
Speak right, lad. Chuff it. No.
speak right, talk right. That knows. So no, I think.
So are you thinking? You're not thinking build a recommendation list. You're building actually physically sell these products.
Affiliation program, I think it's called.
All right, yeah, I'm with you. Right.
So no, people are already selling these products.
And you're just going to sort of direct people.
I'm going to have an Amazon page, a palm print Amazon page.
Yeah.
But I won't physically. This is what I asked the stupid question I asked you last time.
Yeah.
Do I have to physically fill my house full of crap and post it out from my house every time somebody orders something?
No, this dropshipping.
Do I have to fill an Amazon warehouse full of crap? Do I have to go and buy it from Alibaba and fit? No. What I can do is use other people who are already selling these and earn a commission off those.
Percentage, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, which to me makes much more perfect sense because some of the things are tools, little tools. I told you the little thing that I found for like, wow, I bought it. I bought it.
Yeah.
And so there was two ways to go. Affiliate program seems like a relatively sensible thing to do that won't take a lot of my time. Because December out of the equation, my time's quite tied up.
Yeah.
So that, or I know enough people to brand things for me. Do I brand these products as palm print products?
I guess that at that point becomes, well, you're storing and selling stuff because you're having someone brand your own products.
Yeah.
And then you become a retail outlet or whatever.
I don't think that's what I want to do.
No. There's more profit in that.
Unless it earns me more money than this, then I'm doing it.
Well, 100%. Well, it would make
It's
you
like
more
you and
money.
your websites. The question I'm going to ask you about your websites is, what do you do if making 3 websites makes more money than working all week on your press?
Yeah, but making those 3 websites are just to drive more work to the press. So it's not.
I mean, if you made them for somebody else.
No, if I made them for somebody else. And
they paid you the equivalent of what it would take you study your press for 5 days, and you've already said you get enjoyment out of making the websites, but it's the same amount of time, 5 days sat doing this.
No, I'm committed. You won't catch me out.
Just tested.
No, I'm committed. I enjoy I like doing it. But
Amazon is one of me.
I could have sat at a desk. Sorry.
No. Amazon's one on my list to use Amazon more, to sell products that I recommend because they are good, not because I'm being paid to recommend them.
No. Well, I've seen some of your recommendations, and they genuinely are good recommendations. Yeah. Good bit of the kit, and often a hell of a lot cheaper than where the big boys are selling them at.
Yeah, sometimes.
So if you make a small commission out of it, it'll still be a good deal for us. So
yeah,
I'm all for that one. Right. You ready for one? It's a good one. This might catch you out. Quit shagging. No, I'm kidding. I want to read 5 books. Read 5 books. Now, we talked about this briefly the other week. I don't think it was on air. It was off at record. I'm shit at reading. I can read, believe it or not.
But do you get a sore finger when you read?
I just get fucking bored. I just.
Sorry.
That was a bit much, that.
You said I'm shit at reading. It's like, are you just learning? I know, yeah. I'm getting really more. I'm getting more confident now.
It's all right. I enjoy it. So I'm going to read 5 books. I haven't picked out what the 5 books are, but it's going to be basically anything that benefits me and the business. Not self-help books. No, I know you're going to say that.
Autobiographies.
No, business books. Business books. So it might be marketing books, SEO.
Non-fiction.
Oh, non-fiction. No, I'm not going to go read Harry Potter. I'm going to read. I'm just going to try and build my knowledge up about the business and things I can do that might jog me ideas for marketing, etc. like that. Okay. We get 5 books because I am rubbish at reading. And it's not. I can read. I just can never be asked to pick up a book and do it. And I've got tons. I must have 50 books. I've got now.
Put me in shitter.
No, I'm not into that. That's a weird thing to do. It's a weird. That's a dad thing. All dads do that. Go sit on bog for an hour.
Yeah, maybe it's an escape thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But yeah, I'm going to force myself to read some books, just to pick up some more knowledge and get into that habit. Because you know what, I just think it's easier and more enjoyable to turn Netflix on. But it's not better for you. So I'm just going to force myself.
So self-education.
Bit of self-education, bit of improvement, not self-improvement, none of that shit. I'm not going to read a book on. Actually, I've got a few psychology books, which might be worth reading. One of them's called The Chimp Paradox. I'm sure we talked about this last week.
I think you've said something.
I think I brought that up. Paradox. I've got loads of books. I must have 50 books, and all of them are like supposed to be really good, top, best-selling, really useful, life-changing books. I've read one of them. They just look pretty. So I'm going to chip away at them this year. So that's one of my goals.
Good for you. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. How about you? What's next?
I'm pretty much done now. So I've got one more, which is I've got one business, one personal.
Right, let's go. All right, well that's cool. I'll go for one business and one personal next.
I've got one business, one personal. So my business one is actually it's a little bit personal as well. We talked, I think, off air, or maybe on air, procrastinate.
Yeah.
I have at least 3, maybe 4 projects that I have started and not finished. I call them my humidifier projects. So it must be 3 years ago that I saw these humidifiers when people were printing water-based ink. In fact, I was up at a place up in Newcastle, and they bought one.
Yeah,
It fit perfectly around their press.
Yeah.
So it was designed by the people who make the press.
Yeah.
So I took it apart and looked at it and copied everything. Found out where the little electrostatic discs come from.
Yeah.
Looked at all the piping, measured all the piping, got all the little blocks, got everything together, and said, right, okay, well, I'm going to build one of those, but I'm going to build one specifically for the MHM machines, which is 80% of my work.
Yeah.
Because there isn't one. Everybody's got one. It sits on the floor and it's dirty and
DIY type of job.
Water and, and it's all DIY. And I've seen plenty of people with DIY ones. There's nothing wrong with them, but I'd love to get one that was specifically made for the press. So being me, I know exactly what the dimensions of this press, where it should be for optimal sort of use, and got the whole thing in my head of how it's going to work. Perfect. And it's sat in my my office for a while, and now it's moved to the garage, and I should imagine it'll stay in the garage forever if I don't physically do something about it. And when I tell people, they go like, well, let me know when it's done, I'll buy it.
Oh,
Not I'm interested, I'll buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy over at Droplet Brands, Frank, he was like, I'll buy it, Tony.
Yeah.
So, well, let me get it all sorted. No, if you've done it for one of these operators, off, go for it.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, maybe. So one of mine is the stop the procrastination of the and finish a project. Because believe it or not, it gives you a little bit of stress. It's always there in the back of your head.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm never going to get rich or make loads of money on this, but I had the idea. I was excited by the idea. I started the first bit of the idea, and then, I've got to go do some real work, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
And off I go and do some real work, and then I never come back to the idea. So that's me in a nutshell.
One of the biggest contributors to stress is knowing there's more to do, there's more stuff to do. And if you're just not ticking them projects or jobs off, that's where, because you're going to bed with it still.
I'm not stressed by it. I actually don't care.
You don't give a fuck. Well,
no, I do. I've got to finish those little things. Even we were playing with the upside down squirty bottle thing, if you remember.
Yeah.
I need to do something with that. And if it fails, it fails. And if it doesn't, then go for it.
Well, this is kind of a...
Because you know what? I'd be really, really pissed off if somebody else came up with the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
And I saw it and go, I could have done that.
But you know what? This goes back to staying still in business. Staying still in business, you never stay still. You go backwards because somebody else will come along and everything moves around you. Everything moves forward. If you think I'm in a comfy position right now, I'll just sort of hover about here. No, you won't. You're going backwards. Always going backwards.
Everybody overtakes you. Yeah.
Just to chime in on the old, what we calling it, the fogger hydration pump out machine thing.
Humidifier, yeah.
So this is probably so you're tailoring it to an MHM, which is a static piece of machinery.
Yeah.
I tried one myself, and I bought a lizard fogger. Now there's a problem for manual printers. Manual presses are not static; they spin. The screens spin and the pallets spin.
But the centre doesn't.
The centre doesn't. If you've got a hollow centre, you might be able to overcome. Oh, well, anyway, basically I'm saying there's a product development issue that can be overcome, but it's the fact everything spins. I mean, you think about if you just stick a lizard fogger on the centre of your manual, where's that cable going to go? Well, you can dangle it up in air, but you're going to spin it round, it's going to tangle up, and eventually it's just going to twist itself off and rip off, isn't it? So, and then your foggers, the outlets where the piping goes, can you make it so that it spins with the press? I don't know. Yeah. Or maybe you don't. But anyway.
You can, but there's different solutions because, although the screens on a manual are static, the pallets aren't, so you've got to get past that point now.
Yeah, well, this is what I mean. The screens are not static either, have they? Screens spin. I spin my screens around.
You do on a manual, but not on a... No,
yeah, sorry, I'm with you. Yeah, because that's something I'd like. I'd like one. And now I'm realistically only probably going to need one outlet for my whites, so I probably only really need one. And I'd love to build one and stick one on there.
Maybe the one I'm building has taps.
All right, so you can turn them on and off.
So you turn each colour on and off.
Like it.
The one I'm building, I'm not building it. It's in my garage.
The one that you're not building is what you meant to say.
I found out where to buy all the parts and everything. I've got close-up pictures of the ones that have been built, and I just didn't do anything with it. I don't know. Maybe it goes back to a previous point. Is that my passion? And it's probably because that's not my passion that I don't give it enough time.
I think in a similar sort of vein, I've used that as an excuse to not progress the business. And at the time, what I thought I was doing was focusing purely on flipping sweet and not getting distracted. But actually, I've hindered myself. Because there's probably a ceiling to how far I can take flipping sweet if I don't allow myself to build other outlets, the other websites, etc. because Flipping Sweet don't have a niche. Flipping Sweet is just, my customers come from a broad spectrum. I'm in a very isolated, obscure part of the country. 50% of my Google impact is in C. And last time I checked, SpongeBob don't even wear T-shirts, so that rules him out. So in order for me to achieve success, or whatever we're going to call it, I have to stray off that path and look at other ways of generating income. And it's just a way which I've always looked at as, no, don't let yourself get distracted. Because I've done that in the past. I have.
This goes to your stickers and everything else.
Spreading myself thin.
Trying to. This is an age-old question, whether to specialise or diversify.
Yeah.
That's a proper age-old question, and I don't think there's a good answer. I know success stories from both sides.
Yeah, and I think maybe in my case there needs to be a little. So I've gone from two opposite ends of the spectrum: extreme diversification, trying to get all the machines and doing a bit of everything. Realising that didn't work, nearly fell on my ass, nearly lost everything. I'm like, shit, I'm almost in frightened mode. Just stick to one thing. Don't stray, just make that as best as I possibly can and just grow that. If you get distracted, I'll end up back on my ass again. But no, I think actually in realisation, a few years down the line, maybe I can stray off that path a little bit, maybe I can allow a little bit in, but not get too distracted.
No, sort of almost like adding one extra product at a time rather than all of them.
Yeah, not just going too crazy. So, yeah, so that's my little theory about that. So that was
That was my business one.
Business one. Do you want to give me a personal one, or would you like me to give you a business one, and then we'll go back to personal?
Give me a business one, and we'll both do a personal one after that.
Well, let me pick one, because I've got a few left. Some of us did more homework than the other.
I just listened to previous episodes and went, yeah, I'll have that one. Yeah, I'll have that one. Yeah, I'll have that one.
I mean, to be fair, actually, quite a lot of me down bottom of the list we sort of ended up doing early on, didn't we?
What list? This is made up on the spot.
Oh yeah, this is all coming off at cuff.
Off at cuff.
Let's go. I don't know which do I want. Number 4 or number 6? Let's go with number 4. I'm going to build a shopping list. I'm going to build a shopping list of upgrades that will make this shop more efficient, better. And when I say a shopping list of upgrades, I don't mean an auto, although it will be on the list. Small stuff, a better pair of scales, a light box for colour checking. Remember that one?
TL84.
That's the one. Yeah, I've already got one in my eBay basket. I found one. Yeah, they're not
very Verdi. I think made them.
All right, yeah. I can't remember what brand it was. You can pay a couple of grand, or you can pay 600 quid from what I found. Yeah. It's
a grey box with lights in.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I've had.
Will you do me a favour?
Go on.
Before you buy anything, will you ring me? Remember,
to be fair,
do you remember some of the ones you bought?
Yeah, I do. To be fair, maybe I'll just send you my list.
No, we'll work at it one at a time. When you're at that point where you're going to buy something,
about to press buy, yeah,
just about to press buy on Amazon, just move over a little bit and just text Tony, and I'll let you know whether it's good or not.
I'm trying to think, what was the best one I bought? Well, one I bought, and you were like,
fucking Vastex registration system.
Yeah, that.
I could have told you that.
Like £3,000, nearly £3,000. And do you know how much of it cost him back? Not a penny.
Not a penny. You won't have gained anything.
Just chucked it away. What a nightmare. I couldn't even sell it to anybody. In fact, I even tried to give it away, and nobody'd have it.
No, why would you?
What a tit. So yeah, upgrade the shop a little bit. I sell consoles.
I don't think they're another one. I think that were it.
Yeah. Maybe that squeegee. You wouldn't have had of that one. I'm not going to order any more of them. Don't worry. There'll be an auto out list, but you know what? I'm not going to hold myself with a gun at my head. Get that auto this year or not? If it comes, it comes. If not, I shall focus on, like we've talked about for all episode, if it has actually recorded. Focus on those points. Focus on thinking long term, and I feel like the business will only benefit, and I'm sure that auto will come as a result of that. Anyway,
if you do a little bit of data gathering on your past year, it's a perfect time to do it now. You've got a year's worth of data. And if you do, even if you only do 2 or 3 months worth out of that year, run some reports and throw some data across, then that will tell you not only where your pricing is right or where your pricing is wrong, how quick you are, how efficient you are, but whether you should be buying an auto or not.
Yeah.
This is the first bit of information I ask for when people say, I want to upgrade, I want to do this, I want to improve, The first information I ask is, right, okay, what's your average number of colours, your average number of pieces, and your average number of jobs per day? Give me those 3 numbers, and I'll tell you what you need to buy.
Fair enough.
You've got that data. Average number of colours. Average number of pieces. So total order pieces divided by total order number.
Yeah.
Average number of colours. Total colours divided by total number of jobs. And then number of jobs per day. Total number of jobs for the year divided how many days you worked. Get me those 3 bits of information and I'll tell you what you should be buying next.
I'll do that.
It's an auto. No, because it might not be. This is the key. This is the secret. It might not be. It might just be that you're shit.
Oh, yeah, we joke, but like, there's definitely things that I can do better.
What I mean is, it might be a better use of your money to buy an auto reclaim unit.
Oh well, to be fair, I'm not now.
Rather than an auto.
I've had this thought. Is it better to?
It's less money, but it enables you to do more stuff, which enables you to earn more money, which will then get you your auto quicker than if you didn't spend the 20 grand on an auto reclaim unit.
Yeah, I've had this thought process before. Upgrade, automate the screen room before the press. I've had that. I've run that through my head a couple of times, and I've never come to a conclusion which is better or which isn't.
Give me those numbers, and I'll tell you straight away. Yes or no.
Right, we'll do that. We'll do that then. Yeah. Right, so let's finish off then on a personal one.
A personal one from me?
Yep.
Well, you know my personal one, but I want to, because we are a day away from it being real.
Right.
What I mean by that is it's real in 2023.
Right.
And this is a 50-mile run.
Right, I'm with you.
So my 50-mile run is something that has already taken me 3 months, and is going to take me another 8 months of solid, hard work and a little bit of sacrifice and determination. Now I'm getting close to 2023. I'm looking at and considering
another dog.
Yeah, come here, dickhead. I'm considering why the hell I said yes to this. Because I've said to you before. So what I've done is I have entered myself into a 50-mile race in August next year underneath Mount Rushmore, where all the faces in the mountain are, with a friend, and it will be to date the biggest task I've ever performed. I have run a marathon. I've run 2 marathons, and they were hard work. And only now am I remembering
the pain,
not just the pain of the day and the effort of the day, but God, the time and dedication it takes to get to that point. So I'm at the point now where I'm running an hour a day, and it's hard work.
Oh, yeah.
Not just the running, finding that hour.
Yeah,
because it's never definitely an hour. If you go to the gym and you do what you got to get changed, you got to get your stuff, you got to drive somewhere, you got to do this, and by the time you've done it, it's 2 hours out of your day. Now, luckily, this last month I've had loads of time, so that's what I've been doing myself.
Yeah.
Next 2 months, I'm working solid. I've got to find time to train for an event that I can't see.
Yeah.
Because it's so far in the future, because it's August.
Yeah.
So, because it's so far in the future, But I know from marathon training, if I don't put the time in now, I'm not going to complete it.
No.
And there is no way I'm not going to complete this. No way in the world, because this is the last thing I'll ever do as a runner.
Yeah.
I won't do another one. The next one up from this is 100 mile, and there's no way I'm that stupid.
Now then, who was it? Neoprint. He reckons you might do another. He left a comment. I don't know if you said it. He reckons it's pretty addictive.
It, no, it is addictive. But no, I won't do another. Because this is a...
It's going to take that much to do it, surely.
This is a test to see what I can do.
Yeah.
I'm already preparing every single other part of my life, from what I eat and what I drink, specifically what I don't drink now. And continuing on that road, it's going to take so much commitment that I've got to do it.
Yeah.
But from a personal point of view, it's going to be awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Achievement-wise, yeah.
Achievement-wise, it's no easy task.
No, of course
I'll be on my
not.
feet running for about 12 hours.
I couldn't even imagine. Couldn't imagine.
I'm struggling now. So for me, my personal goal is to remain focused on that one fact from a point of view, of a personal point of view, work aside, fit in the training for 1 hour a day and then 3 or 4 hours on a weekend, to be able to tick off my final list. Done it.
You know, there can't be many people on this planet that could say they've done that. Like, that would put you in a really small percentage, surely.
There's like 50, 60 people every year go and do this, bro.
Yeah, which sounds like... But that's like...
Then there's the stupid ones that go and do the 100 mile run. That's a 24
stupid
to 27 hour
an
run.
An actual marathon is stupid in my eyes.
I'm all right with the marathon. The marathon was... I did a little one and a big one. So the big one with like 30,000 people around you.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody together. And you don't feel like the slowest person on the trot.
Sounds like my idea of hell, that. 30,000 people all around you.
Yeah. People. It's 2 people in here for me.
I have to run as well.
Yeah.
No.
So for me, that's my personal goal for the year. I don't think I'll have enough time to do anything else.
No.
On a personal level, that's where I am.
Well,
so what's yours?
It's amazing, this. Basically the same, but I'm not going to do any running. My last personal resolution is to get strong again, get back on my weight training, do some strongman stuff. But the actual goal, the resolution, is to not allow work to get in the way again. So the past 2 or 3 months, it's all fell to tits. Barely trained, and that's because
what training do you
busy.
do? What is it that you're training that you do physically that you do?
Just power
weightlifting.
Well, yeah, weightlifting.
Powerlifting. I don't know the difference.
Weightlifting, like a little bit of strongman stuff, a little bit of that, and it's not competitive in any way.
I've been watching it on telly.
It's not competitive anyway. I'm not saying I'm any good at it, but I really enjoy doing it, and I enjoy looking after myself and being physically strong. I enjoy it. It's something I can be quite good at. Now, when I first started this a few years ago, I would train every other day, a couple hours on that other day.
Yeah, but without fail. You do it in there.
Oh yeah, I do it downstairs. I built a gym downstairs. But I had to, because this comes back to finding time to fit it in. Well, I could finish work and I could just go put my gym gear on downstairs and, have a couple hours training with my own music, not having to wait for people at other machines and stuff like that. So it's perfect for me, perfect. And I managed to stick to that every other day for about 2 years solid. Including a busy Christmas. Now, this Christmas, it was first time in about 2 years that went out at window, and I've had about 3 months of doing bugger all. So this year, next Christmas, I don't want to let that happen again. I want to be training consistently because I enjoy it. I get a lot of benefit from it. It looks after me, and I don't want the business to overconsume me again and stop that. So I guess and again, like I said, it all ties back into the very top resolution, the milk bottle. That is the basis of all of my resolutions, I guess. So yeah, that's a one.
Knowing your capacity, it's a good one.
Yeah. So that's it. Resolution list. I mean, I feel like we've had quite a good list between us. I think
we did all right. Yeah. See what happens when we prepare.
I think, yeah. Let's just hope the episode actually makes it. What would be? I'd like to hear some resolutions from some of our fellow listeners. Maybe you could leave a comment and tell us some of yours.
Yeah.
Are you giving up Shaggy? Has your music taste also changed?
What, to Chakademus and Pliers instead?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. No, I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear.
Yeah, maybe some comments. We always love the comments, and we're always fishing for these things, but we'll do it again anyway. Let us know what you want to see on this podcast. Let us know what are we getting this right? We do get requests for people to be on here. Do we show people on a guest? Do we bring guests on? Is it just me and Danny talking shit on a Friday afternoon?
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, does anybody enjoy that? Let us know if you've got some subjects you want us to cover. Now's your opportunity.
Yeah, well, here's an interesting observation. Neither of us included Chippy Tea in our resolutions.
No, mine's like down here on number 11 down here somewhere. That's why we just ran out of time.
I do think for 2023, I definitely would like to improve Chippy Tea the best we can in whatever way we do it. Definitely give it a bit more attention in terms of getting a website finished and getting some sort of a social media account, stuff like that. I definitely feel like we've built a very, very, very small community, if you want to call it that. But it's a niche podcast, and that's
I think
okay.
Top and bottom of it, I still love doing it. It's not
fun,
a task or a chore. It's not a task or a chore for me. For me, it's just a catch up with you on what you've seen in the industry, what I've seen in the industry, and what we've been doing, and what we've got up to this week. So I'm still okay with that. I think if we get to the point where I've got to do my podcast, we'll have to start looking at something else. But I enjoy it. I look forward to it. So for me, I'm okay. That's why it's not on my list. You see, I don't want to change anything.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
We're a backpedal, wasn't it?
So you remember what I told you about when you stay still and you go backwards? How are you? Right, let's sign it out. Happy New Year, everybody. Tell us your resolutions. And over to Tony. That's your job. What am I taking over for?
I'm letting you go with it then. I thought, okay, then go on for it. And
no, I know the place.
No, that's all that remains to be said, really, is what Danny's just said. A happy sort of New Year. Here's to sort of like waving goodbye to 2022. It feels like it's been 2020 for the last 2 years.
That's a good way of putting it.
And I think that 2023 is the beginning of what should have been 2021.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
All the sort of the disruption that we saw throughout the industry, throughout the globe, throughout the world, has, I think,
finally
safely say,
cut.
Been put to bed.
Because there was a bit of it even at the start of last year, wasn't there? So this is probably the first fresh year.
Yeah, we've dealt with it. It's been hard, and as with every sort of new beginning and new start, now's the time to stop pondering over it and thinking about it, and to look forward to the next 12 months being somewhat precedented, because we've had 2 years of being unprecedented. So I'd love to get back to some, this is normal. And so hopefully, then...
How very philosophical.
Yeah, I do get deep sometimes. So hopefully you can still join us as we have our nonsensical chat going along reviewing the week and looking about what's going to be coming forward in the next year. If you like what you hear, then hit the like button. Hit the follow button. It does mean loads. Maybe not to Google, but it does to us. It gives us a little warm feeling here.
Oh, it does.
Ask us a comment.
Tony will eventually get to your comments.
Yeah, I don't even see them. Yeah, you have to tell me. Did you upload it anyway to Spotify last week?
Oh shit! No, I don't think I have actually.
You didn't, did you?
The Spotify listeners have got 2 for a price of 1 coming up. So,
So hit the like, hit the follow, tell other people, and this is your perfect opportunity. Ask a question. I do a column in Images magazine. Ask Tony. You get it for free here. Ask me a question. Drop it in the comments. Ask Tony.
Magazine's free, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, they'd write to the magazine. DM me and we'll feature it in the magazine. If you want to be a feature in the magazine, DM me a question that hasn't been covered over the last 12 months and we'll type it up and write it up. So you're exempt. I know the sort of questions you're going to be asking. It'll be usually about Shaggy or something. So. You can see that dark look in your eye going, I know what I'm going to ask him. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much. Have a good year. And I'll see thee.
Civi, all the best. Bye-bye. My mouse is working. I can't even stop it.
Slip.